Bro, thank you for choosing this video. Welcome back to this channel, a haven for Chelsea news updates. So find a comfortable seat and grab a drink, because this time I'm presenting 10 stories about Chelsea off the pitch that you probably didn't know. I hope to reach 300 likes. By liking this video, I'm even more motivated to provide as much news as possible and as interesting as possible for you. And finally, please comment where you're from. I'd love to know which countries are watching this video.
Chelsea has finally received a breath of fresh air amidst a difficult period. Jamie Gittens is reportedly showing positive progress in his recovery from injury after suffering a worrying setback. The 21-year-old winger has missed 12 games since suffering a hamstring injury against West Ham in late January, and his absence has been clearly felt in the Blues' attack. Previously, Liam Rosenior revealed that Gittens was close to returning against Newcastle, but was again withdrawn after feeling a hamstring problem after training. This situation forced him to miss the matches against PSG and Everton, both of which ended in bitter defeats for Chelsea. However, the international break now seems to have come at a perfect time. Gittens is using the opportunity to continue his recovery, even posting on social media that he is back running and showing off his new hairstyle. This is certainly welcome news for Chelsea, who are in need of a boost in their winger. With an FA Cup tie against Port Vale and big clashes against Manchester City and Manchester United looming, the question now is, will Gittens be Chelsea's surprise weapon on his return? Chelsea are once again in the spotlight, this time not for their results on the pitch, but for matters off the pitch. Alejandro Garnacho has reportedly been fined after being found guilty of speeding in Manchester. The Argentine winger pleaded guilty after being caught on camera speeding 50 miles per hour in a 40 miles per hour zone near Manchester United's training ground in August 2025, just days before his move to Chelsea was finalized. The case eventually went to court, and Garnacho was fined £660, plus £120 in legal costs and a £264 victim surcharge. He also received 3 penalty points on his license. While this may seem like a minor issue, it adds pressure to the young player who arrived at Stamford Bridge with a £40 million price tag and high expectations. On the pitch, Garnacho's performances have been mixed. In 19 Premier League appearances, he has only managed 1 goal and 4 assists. His pace, daring, and threat down the left flank remain evident, but his finishing remains a major issue. He has incredible potential, that's undeniable. But at such a young age, it's not just talent that's being tested, maturity too. So now, can Garnacho answer his critics with performance, not controversy? Malo Gusto was one of Chelsea's most highlighted players during the international break, after featuring for France in their 2-1 win over Brazil. Playing at right back, Gusto was given a tough task, containing Vinicius Jr., and early in the match, he looked quite convincing. With his speed and fearlessness in one-on-one duels, Gusto had the Brazilian star almost helpless. However, the match changed drastically after Dayot Upamecano was sent off in the 55th minute. With France down to 10 men, Brazil's pressure increased, and that's where Gusto's performance began to falter. He lost focus several times, gave Vinicius too much space, and even made a mistake that put the French backline under threat. The French media also gave a fairly harsh assessment. Eurosport France gave Gusto a 6/10, calling his performance solid early on, but still showing signs of hesitation in key moments. His statistics were otherwise decent. 91 minutes played, 74 touches, 46 successful passes, 2 tackles, 1 interception, and 4 recoveries. But then again, at this level, small details can make all the difference. For Chelsea, this mirrors Gusto's season so far. Great potential, but not yet truly consistent. The question now is Gusto ready to move up a level, or does he still need time to truly mature? Moises Caicedo has finally given a clear answer regarding his future at Chelsea, and this could be reassuring news for fans. Amid rumors linking him to Real Madrid, the Ecuadorian midfielder has insisted that his focus has not shifted at all. In fact, Kaisedo has openly stated that he wants to become a Chelsea legend. A statement that is not only strong, but also meaningful at a time when many players are being linked with exits. Fabrizio Romano then reiterated the situation. According to him, Kaisedo truly believes in the Chelsea project and feels he has a very good relationship with the fans and those within the club. He reportedly feels he still has a lot to achieve at Stamford Bridge, and most importantly, Real Madrid have not initiated any talks. There has been no contact, no negotiations, only rumors. Amid the uncertainty surrounding several other players, Kaisedo's stance feels like a crucial foundation. After almost 3 years at Chelsea and making 139 appearances, he is no longer just an expensive signing, he has become a key player in the team. And if Chelsea truly wants to rebuild a competitive team next season, it must start with one man, Moses Caicedo. Now the question is, who else is ready to commit as strongly as he? Chelsea has received another serious warning, this time from Jamie Carragher. The former Liverpool defender believes the Blues have 5 elite players who could one day lose their patience and start considering the exits. In his view, Chelsea does have a very strong squad foundation with names like Reece James, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, and João Pedro. However, the problem isn't quality, it's the project's direction, which continues to feel unclear. These comments became even more pointed after Enzo Fernandez sparked criticism following the Champions League defeat to PSG. In addition to sparking speculation about his future, Enzo also questioned the club's decision to change managers mid-season, something that was deemed detrimental to the team's stability. Carragher emphasized that top players like these won't wait patiently forever. Sooner or later, they may start to ask themselves, why should they stay if the club isn't truly competing at the highest level? This is a major risk for Chelsea's long-term project. The club continues to build, continues to recruit young talent, but players entering the prime of their careers naturally want tangible results, not just promises. And if seasons like this continue to repeat themselves, it's not impossible that this grand project will collapse from within. So now, the question is simple. Who will run out of patience first? Mykhailo Mudryk has once again captured the spotlight, this time with a short Instagram post that immediately sent Chelsea fans into a frenzy. The Ukrainian winger wrote, "Back in blue soon." A simple yet meaningful message. Amidst a difficult period that has left his career at Stamford Bridge seemingly hanging in the balance, those words felt like a promise, or perhaps a hope that he wasn't finished with Chelsea. But behind that optimism, the reality remains complicated. Mudryk's transfer, once hijacked by Chelsea from Arsenal, is now starting to be seen as a failed move. Unstable performances, followed by problems that have prevented him from playing, have led many to doubt whether he can still be a key part of this project. And precisely because of this, Chelsea are said to be ready to make another hijacking, this time for Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. The PSG star has been linked with Arsenal, but if even the slightest opportunity presents itself, Chelsea should step in. After seeing firsthand how Kvaratskhelia destroyed them in the Champions League, his quality is undeniable. He's sharper, more consistent, and could be a major upgrade for Chelsea's attack. So now, with Mudryk signaling he wants to return, should Chelsea keep faith in him? Or move on to a version that's better equipped to win now? Chelsea are reportedly making moves behind the scenes again, and this time their focus is on Serie A. Strahinja Pavlovic's name has begun to emerge as a serious target for the Blues, after his value skyrocketed thanks to his rapid development under Massimiliano Allegri. The young defender is now reportedly valued at between £50 million and £58 million, a figure that demonstrates how quickly his reputation has risen in such a short time. Amidst Chelsea's performance, which is still far from stable, this rumor seems very plausible. The Blues' backline continues to be under scrutiny, and the need for a strong, young, and development-ready player is increasingly pressing. With the internal situation reportedly under pressure and several players growing frustrated with the direction of the club's project, Chelsea appears to be looking to build a new foundation for the future. Pavlovic is considered to fit the profile they have been seeking. Young, aggressive, and with great potential for further development. Interestingly, at a time when the club is being surrounded by criticism, a move like this shows that Chelsea hasn't stopped building. They may be faltering now, but movement in the transfer market is still ongoing. The question is, can Pavlovic really be the solution to Chelsea's backline, or will this just be another youth project that takes too long to explode? Roy Keane made a sharp remark about Enzo Fernandez's criticism of Chelsea's project. and his message was completely unforgiving. After the Blues' painful A2 aggregate Champions League exit to PSG, Fernandez expressed his disappointment with the club's decision to part ways with Enzo Maresca mid-season. He argued that the decision had damaged the team's identity, which had begun to take shape. However, Roy Keane viewed such comments as unsympathetic. The former Manchester United captain emphasized that the players, including Fernandez, must share responsibility for the situation. His reasoning was simple. They themselves signed long-term contracts with Chelsea. Keane even suggested that if any player is truly unhappy with the club's project, the exit door could be opened this summer. He believes there's no reason to complain after accepting such a deal. These comments clearly escalated the situation at Stamford Bridge. On the one hand, Fernandez may simply be voicing a frustration shared by many fans, but on the other, such remarks could trigger a deeper rift within the dressing room. Chelsea now finds itself at a precarious point, holding on to their faltering players or letting them go and starting over. And the big question is, if the stars start to lose faith, how long can this project last? Chelsea are reportedly ready to make a major move in the summer transfer window by targeting Morgan Rodgers from Aston Villa. The 23-year-old attacking midfielder has been outstanding this season, and is one of the main reasons Villa have maintained their top-flight status. With 8 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League, Rodgers is no longer just a promising talent, he has become a truly decisive player. According to reports, Chelsea are preparing a substantial bid, potentially reaching a staggering £100 million. Joe Shields is said to be the driving force behind this transfer, having long admired Rodgers' qualities. However, amidst the growing rumors, former England star Chris Waddle has issued a stern warning. He believes Rodgers should not rush to leave Villa, as he is currently playing regularly, developing rapidly, and is at a team that is still moving in the right direction. That's what makes this situation so interesting. On the one hand, Chelsea clearly sees Rodgers as a key part of their future project, but on the other hand, a move to Stamford Bridge at this time could be a risky move, especially given the immense pressure. Rodgers is happy, shining, and playing a vital role at Villa. So now the question is Chelsea really a dream destination, or just an expensive trap for Morgan Rodgers' career? Enzo Fernandez is back in the spotlight, and this time his statement about Real Madrid is being considered premature by some Chelsea fans. After previously admitting he was considering his future after this season, Enzo now confirms that there have been no direct talks with Real Madrid. Fabrizio Romano quoted him as saying, "No contact, no negotiations, zero talks." At first glance, this may sound like good news. However, a deeper look reveals that the situation isn't entirely reassuring. It's worth noting that Enzo hasn't completely closed the door on leaving. He simply stated that his focus is currently on Chelsea for the remainder of the season, and his future will be evaluated after the World Cup. This means the threat still exists. This isn't a guarantee of a stay. It's simply a postponement of the decision. Herein lies the real concern. Many fans might see the lack of contact with Madrid as a small victory, but in reality, the main issue isn't who contacted Enzo, it's the fact that Enzo himself has begun considering an exit. And when a player as important as him begins to falter, it's a dangerous signal for the Chelsea project. So now the question is this really good news, or is it just a quiet alarm bell?